one person very close to me. We were both shooting, and I had already done mine. I told her to be careful, not to do as much as I did. 2 minutes later, I heard a thud from the bathroom. I broke the door in. She was on the floor. I didn't want to believe that she had overdosed, and she was like my like my freaking sidekick when it came to doing that.
That's a true story from an upstate addict faced with a life or death decision. Should he call 911, save a life and risk his own arrest, or watch someone die?
With the number of deadly overdoses soaring in South Carolina, our 7 News investigations team is looking at what's working in other states. Here's Gordon Dill.
Tonight we're going to talk about a legal issue and moral dilemma. Some of our upstate neighbors are often forced to decide between the life of a friend and their own freedom. It is obviously a difficult choice that people in North Carolina and Georgia don't have to make, because those states have laws to protect so-called Good Samaritans, while the Palmetto State does not. Here's one man who had to make that choice, and as you hear his story, ask yourself, what should he do? This man, who asked us to call him Randy, is a musician, a father, and a recovering addict. Randy told us heroin controlled his life, but at least he's still alive.
Well, I've been in drug houses before where people were on the floor, like after doing a shot, and just they didn't look like they were going to die. And people were definitely, nobody was really doing anything.
The statistics are staggering. The most recent numbers from the CDC show nearly 50,000 Americans died from a drug overdose in 2014, meaning more people died from an OD than from all of the car crashes and homicides combined. Heroin alone killed more than 10,000 that year. And around here, the trends are equally striking. In Greenville County, 106 people died from overdose last year, up 23% from the year before. In fact, somewhere in the upstate, a person dies from a drug overdose every 36 hours.
But there are good people out there who are having their lives destroyed, and good people out there who are dying.
When Randy says good people, of course we have to acknowledge heroin is illegal and the people who use it know it. But addicts can and do turn their lives around if the heroin doesn't kill them first. So some states, like North Carolina and Georgia, have taken bold steps to save those lives. While in South Carolina, those same addicts are faced with a difficult, maybe deadly choice.
Come on, wake up. Come on.
This video is one of dozens you'll find online showing what appears to be a miracle cure for heroin overdose. It's called Narcan. It's a nasal spray now carried by police and firefighters all over the country. It was an Asheville firefighter who showed us these videos, eager to show Narcan's life-saving potential. It's certainly in demand. Through October of this year, Asheville Police and Fire had 277 calls for drug overdose. That's almost one a day. And because of Narcan, they've had remarkable success keeping those callers alive.
But oftentimes with these overdoses, we arrive on scene and they're already unconscious. They're not responsive to us. And we'll notice their pulse increasing, and most visibly is their breathing slows down to the point where they stop breathing and they start turning blue.
Are there people who are alive today because this fire department carries Narcan?
Absolutely.
And first responders in North Carolina and Georgia have another huge advantage. Lawmakers in both states passed Good Samaritan laws. They encourage anyone who sees an overdose to call 911 immediately. They guarantee the caller and overdose victim won't be arrested when police arrive, as long as the person acted in good faith to save a life. Police can confiscate the illegal drugs, but nobody goes to jail.
Do you think that saves lives?
I'm sure it saves lives. People are afraid of the consequences if they are around illegal substances.
In the entire Southeast, there's only one state without a Good Samaritan law. It's South Carolina, where someone who witnesses a drug overdose could take a significant risk by reporting it.
Addicts like me, recovering addicts, or using addicts, if they've been in a situation where someone has overdosed and died in front of them, and they couldn't do anything about it because they thought they were gonna, get locked away for saving someone's life. It's ridiculous.
Police and deputies in Greenville County do carry Narcan, and they have saved lives. The state also passed an Overdose Prevention Act, which makes Narcan more accessible. But when seconds count, the threat of jail time may still put lives at stake. In Union County, the sheriff, David Taylor, told us overdose callers usually waste precious time cleaning up potentially incriminating evidence. Many simply leave the scene before calling, while some overdose victims are just dropped off at the hospital door because a South Carolina addict faces this choice: go to jail or watch someone die.
So, South Carolina lawmakers have introduced Good Samaritan bills just like the one we showed you in North Carolina, but they get buried in committee and never come up for a vote. Now, Randy, who you saw in our story, is in group therapy at the Phoenix Center in Greenville. He says he's been clean now for 3 months.